The Sekanyolya Security Show, in proud partnership with Centenary Bank and MTN.
Do you know that Uganda is one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world? That means that businesses are thriving. But have you ever thought about security when it comes to business? That's going to be the discussion on today's show. Welcome to the Sekanyolya Security Show. My name is Dr. Mitch, and you're in for a fab ride. On our show today, with over a decade and a half of consulting experience in security and security systems, the East African Business Development Director from Sekanyolya, Henry Zizinga, and with dozens of projects under his belt, planning and project management extraordinaire, Rian Paul Mugomba. All right, well, good to have you guys on the show, but I did not get the memo. What's with you guys and wearing shirts and not telling me? I feel like I'm overdressed for this party.
I think you're trying to be modest.
I think so. I think I agree totally. So guys, today's discussion is about business security. And I know, Henry, you've been at the helm of security consulting for so long, but what's this story that people have been having about integrated security solutions?
We are trying to show that we provide more than home solutions.
Yeah.
Because as businesses grow, so too do their security threats, cyber attacks and all. Yeah, so the aspect of security becomes more complex. Imagine you have a high-rise building, 20 floors. You need to be in charge of your security. Integrated security will help you put all your security devices and components on one platform.
So it doesn't even have to be a 20 high-rise building. It can be one building but with multiple sites, huh?
Yeah, that's what we call an enterprise solution.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have, say, 10 buildings in different locations.
Yeah.
And then you have multiple systems on all those buildings. And then you can be able to manipulate all of that on the comfort of your desk.
So let's imagine that I am the people's idiot. I know nothing. And I want you to paint a picture for me. What are the elements that I need?
Well, one of the most integral aspects is video surveillance.
Okay, that's number one.
Yeah, then you need access control.
That's number two.
Yeah, then you need neutral vendor protocols and standards.
Okay, in English, what in English, what does that mean? Huh?
Well, you're going to be putting together different systems,
Yeah.
From different manufacturers.
Yeah.
So they've got to meet certain standards,
Okay.
so that they can
have to
be
be
compatible with each other.
compatible
Yes,
with each other,
yes, absolutely.
Now that I have the four components, what other plugins can I have to make an efficient and an effective integrated security solution?
What you're calling plugins actually field devices.
Okay, devices.
Yeah, field devices. So those field devices could be turnstiles.
Turnstile, what is the turnstile?
A turnstile is an access control that you put at an entrance, say to a stadium or to a commercial building, and you want to control access in a particular sequence. So you'll have bidirectional, you'll have single directional, depending on the volume of traffic.
How many? Okay, so you've got bidirectional, means that it goes in or out.
And then you've got the double, but that is usually for like high traffic places like stadiums and the like. Yeah.
And what about in terms of height? Are there any differentiations in terms of height?
Absolutely, you've got full height turnstiles, and then you've got, that is when you don't want to compromise your security at all, where the security threat is higher than when you'll have a waist high turnstile.
Okay.
Just to indicate to people that, hey, look, you need to go to the reception first for clearance, then you can continue through. And you'll basically pick up like a card there, use it with the access control that is positioned, and then you can go through. Yeah. Okay,
so in terms of devices, I've got turnstiles first. Which other type of devices can I have?
You can have a biometric access control unit.
Biometrics, So what in terms of biometrics now is cutting edge in terms of technology? Stuff that you guys have got at Sekanyolya.
Biometrics is where you're using your eyes or your fingers to gain access into a restricted area.
Okay.
Yeah, so that unit is as well connected to the entire integrated system.
Okay. So what about this story about types of barriers? Are the barriers also devices which can be plugged into the integrated system?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The barriers are plugged into the integrated system in the sense that that is for vehicles in particular.
Yes.
But as the vehicle is gaining access, that particular transaction is being captured by the server somewhere on the integrated system as well.
So which types of barriers do I have?
You've got the automated ones.
Automated ones, yes.
With the automated ones, you've got the ordinary one,
Yeah.
and then you've got the spiked.
Or the spikes, so that the ones which vehicle cannot pass until you've pressed whatever, some sort of remote, huh?
Absolutely, but those ones have got spikes standing out,
Yeah.
and then once you're given access,
Yes.
the spikes will go back into the ground, and then you can drive through. Yeah.
Okay, so now that I've understood, I've got barriers, I've got turnstiles, I've got different types of biometrics, this becomes a very complex process. Huh? I wanted to ask Rian, at what point should I now start thinking about all of this when I'm undertaking a project of any sort?
Well, I feel like you've already answered the question. You have barriers, you have turnstiles, you have all these access controls, all the things he has talked about.
Yeah.
So imagine them being mere add-ons if you have not incorporated them within the full design process.
Okay.
So this definitely has to be in the early stages of engagement with the design team.
Yeah.
It has to be incorporated within the entire design all the way from the beginning. So as soon as the concept is defined,
Yes.
it's the same thing as looking at the structural engineer, looking at the mechanical and electrical drawings. It has to be incorporated within the system design from the beginning.
What is the purpose of having it early on during the planning process?
Well, a key to any good design is planning. So
Yeah.
when you have all this early on in the design process,
Yes.
you won't have retrofitted buildings with add-ons with a turnstile just standing there out of the blue. It will be part of the entire composition of the design.
Now, I've seen instances where people have had to break a wall because I all of a sudden there's this that I wanted to add in. Yet if I had sat down and spoken to Rian and the project team and said, here, this is what I want to do from a design standpoint and security standpoint, it would have been factored in.
Exactly. You see that there's some people who even end up not having these security devices that he has talked about because they feel they look unsightly. They will look unsightly in their reception. But if this is incorporated within the design process from the beginning,
Yes.
you won't have any such issue.
So you benefit from both cosmetics and security.
Exactly.
Good. Which brings me to my next question, Henry. So what are the things, as I am designing, I'm sitting now with Rian Paul, and he's taking me through the cosmetics and the rest. What are the things I should focus on when I am now thinking about security for my building?
Well, the guiding principles are deterrence,
Deterrence,
detection,
detection,
response, and evidence collection. So
let's go back, rewind. This is sounding like CSI. So the first one is
deterrence,
deterrence, detection.
response, and evidence collection.
Nice.
Yeah.
Take me through.
So basically, what you want to do is do a risk assessment
Yes.
first and foremost with the client. Sit down with the client, understand what are their problems, and then from there, that is the starting step, and that's how you'll start to generate a concept for the client.
Correct.
And then you want to have drawings, and this is where they come in the project managers together with architects.
But this brings to a point that a lot of projects, and Rian is going to agree with me, are very dynamic. I will start with concept A, but because of the fact that funding might be cut back, or actually people might want to scale up, the building or the entire structure snowballs. So how easy is it for us, first of all now, to scale up or to make alterations to a security strategy or security system once I've already started?
Well, any good integrated security system
Yes.
that is went through the processes with the architects and the project managers, and it was installed based on a definite plan,
Yes.
should be very easy to scale up because new threats come up all the time. So it shouldn't be something rigid, it should be something that can easily be scaled up.
No, I agree, because if you take a case in point, COVID took everybody by surprise last year. But you'll see that now, I'd say most of the government buildings and VVIP places who value a lot of their customers have now put COVID walkthroughs. And this is something which had not been planned 2-3 years ago. So if you are able to evolve and be flexible in your strategy. So I think one of the next questions is, so in terms of making these alterations during the build process, does it affect the effectiveness and the efficiency of the system afterwards? Just because you're adding on. Like you've seen these Mercedes Benzes and or these other cars and guys that now add rims and this and that. Okay, it might look okay, but does it really make it more efficient?
If you get a genuine integrated security solution,
yes.
He already talked about the components being linked and being able to pick up from one another. Mm-hmm. So adding on should make it more efficient.
But what I could possibly add is the fact that most developers or clients will ignore that aspect. They will not include security at the onset.
Yeah.
This is something that usually comes up later.
Yeah.
And that usually causes what in construction terms what they call variations. So it delays your project and then it drives up the cost.
So what's your advice to anybody who is actually undertaking a project?
As soon as the architects are done with the blueprint, sit down with the mechanical engineer, sit down with the electrical engineer, sit down with the security experts, and get their input. Because you're going to have to lay cables, you're going to have to lay conduit, make provisions for security. Now, if you missed that at the onset, it's going to really be inconveniencing, and that's where you get projects delaying. You've borrowed money from the bank, and you have a certain period within which you start paying.
And now you have to go back. Wonderful. All right, so there we've had it. That is what we call integrated business security. And we've heard from two specialists who've told you that if you want to do it, start from the beginning and make sure you involve everybody, especially the team from Sekanyolya. You know, in African culture, you know, it's traditional to sit at the feet of elders and to drink from their immense knowledge. Well, we decided to take some time out and go and listen to the inspiration from one of Uganda's premier businessmen. And this is what Patrick Bitature had to say about security, about safety, and about securing his enterprises.
To succeed in business, you must always be or continuously be assessing the risk. That's why we have on our audit committee a committee in a good business that is continuously monitoring and evaluating the risks to the business. Now, whatever threat comes, we've got to be conscious about it. Today, the world order, as I said, will always be, before you get into any big building or hotel, you will be scanned. There's going to be a security threat. Something that was not there in the past. That happened because of terrorism and all kinds of activities that have happened. But beyond that, we've got to continuously be looking at people's safety, the product safety, goods safety. All our services, are they safe? The level of safety now at a hotel like the Marriott, the standards have been raised so high for fire, for accident, for theft, for anything that happens here. The insurance levels are so much higher just because the world order has changed and security is looked at so differently. So at the Naguru Skies Hotel, 144 CCTV cameras, 144. And you've got to have a department full-time with staff monitoring 24 hours. Not so much that they'll see something in the 24 hours because it's such a mundane job, but you have the ability to digitally go back to a particular day, a particular time, anytime. And you don't record just for a day or for a week or for 2 weeks now. You've got to keep that record for a year, just in case anything has got to be evaluated. Those who are involved in security, you've got to deploy cameras. Cameras are becoming smarter. They've got to have facial recognition so that you can zoom in and see people's faces and tell this is this person, not just, oh, somebody came here and stole a mobile phone. Who was it? Was it your staff? Or is that it? Is this the person who has been coming every time? Has he been there to wreck the place? So security has changed completely. It's a continuously changing industry. It's very dynamic. You've got to be positive and planning ahead, not reacting to incidents, so that you mitigate the risks at all the time. So I'm glad that the country has embraced security. And we kept talking about this at different level. I know at the Presidential Investment Roundtable, we talked about it a few years ago, until the president said enough is enough. Crime was running away. And then security cameras are deployed across the country. In every major city, now there are cameras there. But you must watch out for your security. And people, their thinking, their behavior is changing. So it's important that we have companies like Sekanyolya who are at the forefront, that are doing what they are doing and broadening their services, broadening the product range that they're giving, so that people have security at home, whether it's just cameras, razor wires, radio communications, signals, response teams, things that are helping us stay in touch with what's happening in the rest of the world. That's the price you pay for development.
The Sekanyolya Security Challenge. 2 individuals, 200,000 shillings up for grabs, courtesy of Centenary Bank. On today's show, Tony Teza, a network engineer, squaring off against Impaza Gerald, a security guard. Who's gonna take it? Yep, it's time for action. 200K, that's a lot of money. What would you do with the money, Tony, if you won 200K?
Since I'm a daily forex trader,
yes,
I'm topping up on my app.
Topping up on forex trading. Gerald, 200,000. How would that change your life straight from Centenary Bank?
Like I can pay those who are demanding me.
Abamubanja, please check up on him afterwards. All right, starting with question 1. Gerald, answer please.
C.
A and B is the correct answer. You're starting off with fire. Number 2. Tony, what is that?
Security razor wire.
Security razor wire. Next one. What does it mean? What does MTN stand for?
Mobile telephone network.
That is correct. Next one. What is that?
That is a swing gate team.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is an automated swing gate system. Next question. Tell me, what does an electric fence have to have?
A and B, that is D.
A and B. A is correct. Yes, it must have electricity, but it does not have to have razor wire. So, unfortunately, that's not correct. You've got 3 points, he's got 1 point. So what we're going to do is that we're going to swap sides, because people might think that this side is lucky and this side is not. Let's swap and see. So now we are back. If you've just tuned into the show, we've got Tony here has got 3 points. We've got Gerald at 1 point. And who's going to walk away with 200K straight from Centenary Bank? We're going to find out. Next question. What is that?
That is a freestand electric fence.
That is a freestand electric fence. That is totally correct. How do you? Gerald. Are you happy with that answer?
Yeah.
Well, you're going in the wrong direction. Tell me, do you want to give it a shot? What's the answer?
It's an automated teller machine.
Automated teller machine is correct. Final question. So what is that?
It's a point of sale system receipt printer.
Yes! That is correct. Just call it a POS machine. Let's give him a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner today. 200,000 shillings is in his wallet now, courtesy of Centenary Bank and MTN. Special thank you to both of our partners. But hey, don't feel nugu. You could be up here if you want to. All you got to do is check out our social media handles. Tell us that you want to come onto the show and participate. But if you're not interested in coming to win money, why don't you come and pick up some of the best new security system solutions from Sekanyolya? We've got our 20th anniversary week starting on the 20th of November. So don't miss out. Come on down, come on up. Well, I gotta say special thank you to all of our partners and our sponsors. Thank you so much to Centenary Bank. Thank you very much to MTN Uganda. Thank you to Ballon Advocates. Thank you to Kingdom Kampala. And a special thank you also to Techno. My name is Dr. Miche Guang. It's a standard. Gotta keep reminding you, security is for everyone.